We were doing that exclusively for a long time. Very recently, since I've become a little bit more involved we kind of partnered up with a bigger company here, Frontline Dental Implant Specialists.
So one of the things that we've developed at our company is we do lead nurturing, and where we say, look, we're going to filter all these out for you because there's too many. Your team doesn't have time to work through those.
My recommendation is that if you plan to dive into this model, and I'm not talking to do one arch every 6 months. I'm trying to do like a couple of arches a month, all right? 4, 5, 6 arches a month. You're not trying to do 20. That's a different ballgame.
Welcome to another episode of the Full Arch Advantage podcast. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I am the founder of SMC National, where we help you create, convert, and close more full arch cases so you can grow the way that you want. And today I have the founder of SD Oral Facial and Implant Surgery, Dr. Sharafi, and you are going to want to hear how he's getting 7 to 8 full arches every single month from referrals, and also what he's doing around marketing and all the little details that you need to fill in between to make sure that you're successful and that your practices can grow the way that you want. You're going to want to stay tuned for this one because he's going to drop some gems on you that are going to blow your mind. Stay tuned. All right, doctor. So why don't you tell me what you are doing to see growth at your practices when it comes to full arch?
It's definitely obviously an interesting topic. So being a specialist, since I'm an oral surgeon, makes it a little bit different because, obviously I'm running a referral-based business. So we work a lot in my practice. So if you're out there and you're a specialist, prosthodontist, periodontist, oral surgeon, whatever the case might be, you're doing this a little bit different. I'll get into how like GPs kind of proceeding, but we like to, organically grow as much as we can. Like if we can get patients without having to spend $1 on, wonderful, right? So organically, our focus here is to how do we grow our referral base that send full arch to it, right? And
so doctor referrals, right?
Doctor referrals, yeah. And you'd be surprised, there'd be people out there, doctors out there that don't refer us anything else. Somebody using implants or whatever the case might be, single implants, but they send their full arch to us, which also leads to further growth and further referral also, of course. But so we do a lot of programs, and I do a lot of programs with BioHorizons, one of which is the shock and awe kind of lecture or whatever you want to call it, where we get together my representative, whoever it is, and we set up like some sort of dinner, or we try to do this every quarter, some event somewhere that's fun. And we try to invite, honestly, people that have never really worked with us before. Like they don't really know me, I don't know them, because my existing referrals already know what we're doing, what's going on, and what the process entails. But we got to get them in a room and say, I usually get up there myself, or we have a speaker, or I go other places and do talks in these lectures. And we kind of say, this is what we do. This is how we set up in our office. This is how easy we're going to make it for you to restore the case at the end. Or, for example, in my office, I do the surgery and the conversion of the teeth. I have a kind of in-house lab technician and et cetera. So we tell them how they're involved in the final processes, what the costs are, how do we sell a case? Do I sell all of it at my office and then give them, a check, or do they sell the final at their office? So those are the kind of programs that I'm running to grow that field. Now, you'd be surprised how many people are saying, well, why should my patient go to someone like, corporate entity like a Clear Choice or something? Like I can work with this guy and get the same result, and the patients are more comfortable, and it's more of a private setting. So that's been working out really, really well for us.
You want to hear something crazy? Dental marketing agencies are dead. You got that right. They're dead. Why do I say that? Well, we don't consider ourselves a dental marketing agency. We are a growth partner. What that means is we help our clients not only create opportunities, but we help them convert them and close them as well. And that is what's needed in the day and age that we live, because just getting new patient leads is not enough. You need somebody that's going to help you actually get these new patients into your chair and make sure that they're the right kind of patient for your office. Now, we put together a whole report that will tell you where dental marketing currently is, because there's a ton of changes, tons of things are going on with the market. And we broke down what you're going to need to do to stay ahead of the industry and grow the way that you want. The link is down below. Go check it out. Everything is free. I look forward to hearing from you. So do you end up referring back the restorative to the referral doctors?
Sure.
Is that
they do the final restoration? And we kind of have different categories. We tell them, look, if you want to take, if the patient's ready for final prosthesis, you take over and there's X dollars coming to you for doing the final prosthesis. I'm paying the lab bill and doing all that. There's some doctors say, look, this is my first case, my second case. I want you to maybe hold my hand a little bit or get me to a certain level. Then we get them to a certain level, like we can get them up to the wax trying stage. I don't mean to get too technical here, but
yeah, no, this is good. This is what we want.
They wax fine and take it from there. There's other doctors, which is like maybe their first case, and we have a program for that. That will, hey, we give you X dollars for you to come and actually come to the appointments with my lab technician in-house and see what the next step is. All the way to the final, you see the final prosthesis, so you learn how to take it in and out. And now you have to comfortable for the next level next time you do a case. And people love that. And they're like, at least I get a little experience, they don't have to go to like a course, they're basically getting the course right here. So they do it that way, and I'm gaining a lot of referrals. And, we're organically, we've done this for a while, and I've given a reputation in town for doing full arch. But, we're getting like, 6-7 arches a month just organically.
Wow.
$0 of spending, which is good. If we're running a full arch oral surgery practice, so trying to finesse 6 or 7 arches is already hard enough, but like we're set up like a hospital, you can have an anesthesiologist with the lab tech and be your surgery. So patients feel very comfortable. The one thing about full arch is that you have to have the little steps in place in your office. You can't just wishy-wash this and, who's going to sell the case today? How are we collecting money? Who's financing it?
It's a whole process of its own.
You got to have it down. You want the patient to walk in and say, like, if they go to a clear choice consult tomorrow, they come back and say, well, that was pretty close. I like these guys better. They can finance me. They can get me in the door. They can schedule me. They have anesthesia. They have a lab tech. They're working with my dentist. I mean, it's like the best of all worlds,
Yeah. So are all your full arches, are they all coming from doctor referrals, or do you have other sources that you're drawing from as well?
We were doing that exclusively for a long time. Very recently, since I've become a little bit more involved we kind of partnered up with a bigger company here, Frontline Dental Implant Specialists. They're helping us a little bit now with outside advertisements and things like that. We've actually joined one of their brands called New Teeth Now. That's in Florida. And New Teeth Now is two oral surgeons in Florida, Lakeland, Florida, outside of Tampa. And they're doing so many arches and they have a brand already and all that. So we tagged along with them with their West Coast brand. And they're really involved in advertisement and things like that. But they set up, TV and digital marketing and things like that. So I'm very new to that right now.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So one thing that I know that a lot of people struggle with is when they're getting a lot of referrals, they go, okay, so the patient comes already preconditioned, right? So somebody else already did the selling for them. And so they're coming over and then you're presenting, okay, we'll take care of this. And then the restorative, you're going to go back to the other doctor. It's a very easy story because somebody already teed you up. With marketing,
yes.
What I've seen is patients get confused because they come in and you're like, okay, here's what we're going to do, but we're going to refer you back out. And they go, wait, you're not going to do the whole thing here? And no one teed that up. So how are you dealing with that, or have you addressed that yet?
Yeah, I have a very, very good point, because when you go to that other route, you're kind of opening up a can of worms also, because if you're not working with the right company where there's kind of screening some of the patients before they even give it to you, number one, because now you're getting like floodgate of people that don't even need this case, and you're like trying to run a business and you have these phone calls. I should be partnered up with somebody that actually has maybe a call center, maybe screens these patients out initially. They know the prices before they even come in. So that number one makes it easier.
Yeah.
And then they come in and you have to then see what kind of practice you're running as a specialist. If you're a GP, obviously this is super easy for you, because not only you're handling everything, but also from some of their consults that are coming in, you can get some of the restorative things and things like that. For a specialty office, it's a little bit different, because in our office, we actually handle the final prosthesis as well.
Oh, so you do both. Okay, got it. That makes sense. Yeah.
If the case comes in and I feel like it's a little bit over our head, or if your type of practice are not doing final prosthesis, this is like a gold mine for you, because now you're referring it to your buddies to do final prosthesis, your favorite couple of people, and they're going to refer you now more people also.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's,
you can go.
And so it can be a really positive thing, but you have to have a process, right? So when I keep seeing these docs that are amazing doctors, right? Like the skill levels through the roof.
And that has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
That has nothing to do with it, because when the patient comes in, think about it this way. Think if you were the patient and you came to me and I was like, oh yeah, we can do a full arch for you. We'll get it all in there. It's going to be beautiful. And it's going to be $25,000. And you go, okay, that's for the whole thing? No, that's just for my piece. We still got to refer you out. And it's going to be, and how much is that? I don't know. And how I've explained it to doctors to help them understand this is like, let's pretend you got into a car accident, right? So you're driving your car, you wrecked your car,
and you go into the auto body shop and they go, yeah, we can get this back into shape for you. It's going to be $10,000 out of pocket for you to get it back in working condition. For the whole thing? Oh, no. That's just the body work. We also need to paint it as well.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have to do some final electronic touches on it and things like that. And you go, well, how much is that? I don't know. I'm going to have to give you a phone number and I'm going to put you in touch with them. There's no chance you're going to do that, right? You're going to say, I'm out of here. That's the tricky part. It sounds like you've kind of figured that out.
You have to. I mean, I used to, be the primary surgeon at the Clear Choice in San Diego for 4 years. I mean, I learned all the tactics that they're using. It's like, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? They already invented the wheel and it's working perfect. Why? Yeah. You got to go with that. The other thing with the whole referral-based model, the problem arises with this cost issue, money issue. That's what we've made it easy. It's like, just send the patient to us. We sell the whole case. I'm going to finance it, collect. This is the portion you're getting for your portion. And
how does that work? How does that work for like the referral laws and all that kind of stuff? How do you?
We talk to a lot of accountants and lawyers and stuff like that. It's very easy. We issue a 1099 to the referral dentist for the amount that checks out to them, and they report it on their taxes and things like this. Very legitimate situation.
So as long as everybody knows it up front, you're reporting it properly, then you're covered.
Absolutely. And then when we finance it, we deduct the finance fee off top, and then we all split it from there, so they understand that too. There's a financing charge and things like that too. So the GPs all understand that. And that's how during those lectures and stuff, I explain this to the GP. So they already know, okay, all I got to do is find someone and send it there, and then it will fruition. So as a specialist, you have to do that. Otherwise, it's a wish you're doing onesie, twosies here and there,
So smart. Yeah. And one of the things that you mentioned as well is so the thing that I don't think most doctors realize is that one of the most searched keywords in dental, besides dentist, is dental implants or some nature of that, right? And the reason for that is because there's a couple of things. Number one, it's an expensive procedure, so patients have a lot of questions. Number two, baby boomers are retiring at about 10,000 baby boomers a day. Money's not the issue, right? They all have money.
Right.
They're one of the richest generations ever to ever retire. And so you have all this going on. And so what happens is they get on Google and they start researching, but to your point, you can have thousands of leads and zero treatment. And so one of the things that we've developed at our company is we do lead nurturing, and where we say, look, we're going to filter all these out for you because there's too many. Your team doesn't have time to work through those. But I think that's a really good point, that you have to have somebody, whether it's a marketing company, whether it's a third party, or someone on your team. And we've actually broken this down by hour. So for every 5,000 that you put into digital marketing, you need to have somebody that can spend an hour to 2 hours a day. Minimum working leads every single day. So if you're like, well, I'm going to spend $20,000, that's almost a full-time position now. You're part-time to full-time position, just working those leads. How have you guys kind of crafted that? Do you have a third party that you use? Do you do some of it in-house? Do you do a hybrid? How do you guys do that?
We have a little bit of a hybrid situation. So some of the leads that are coming in from more like the advertisement, like you said. So again, the people I'm currently involved with, like you said, they have this exactly what you guys have, a little bit of a pre-op screening and this and that, and can we even finance this person, or things like that. So that makes life a lot easier. Then when it comes to the office, we have to be able to handle that. Where do the calls go? Where are you putting these patients? Do we put them next week? We have to make a new column on our schedule that if a lead comes in, it doesn't matter if I have 400 people on the schedule, I got to see that patient tomorrow, because if they found my advertisement, they're going to find the next guy's advertisement. They're going there tomorrow. So that's one thing that we realized, that if you're putting a patient like a week down the line for a consult, they would no-show.
Yeah, they're going to end up accepting treatment somewhere else. Someone's
changed their mind. They saw the ad, they're hot. That's when you got to grasp. When they're calling, you got to come in the next day. So we've changed that behavior.
That's a big one.
The referral model is a little bit different because they're getting referred and all that. But when they're
totally different
from like direct to consumer advertisement, it's like it's like the home shopping network that you're not buying it tonight, you're not going to buy it tomorrow.
Well, what most people don't realize, and I think people realize it, but they don't think through it. Like if I hopped online right now and I typed in Ford F-150 truck, guess what I'm going to get ads for from Dodge, from Toyota, from Chevy. Like I'm going to get every ad from every company because they all know, oh, Gary just searched this, so we're going to run ads. So it's the same thing. Once someone Google searches you and hits your landing page, schedules an appointment, Google then notifies everybody else that's running ads like, hey, this person in this area is searching for this treatment now. So they're going to get all those ads. If you don't get them in and get them to say yes, someone else is going to do that. So that's a really good point.
Yeah, so you got to be prepared for that. I mean, you got to like prepare the column in your space. You can't have staff freaking out that people are coming in or staying late or doing this. We just got to manage. I mean, you know, a lot of staff management and learning, and it's a constant battle. I mean, I can say this because my staff's not next to me, but it's a constant battle of getting them and the new people in staff and what are you trying to achieve, and you know, because you can't handle it yourself. So it's a tricky balance, you know?
It is. Yeah. Last question for you. Do you have any thoughts around like financing, how to, not even just financing, but just like that, getting that patient over that hump to say yes?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've learned that works well to get your team and that patient moving in the right direction?
Some obviously to be, except a couple of several companies here, you know, whatever, everyone, same as everybody else. What I found was that when we were saying, hey, we accept these financing plans, and here's a brochure, and go home tonight and get on the internet and see, you know, it won't be a hit to your credit. Just get on this, see what you get approved. That is just like never happens. So what we've just changed here is that you're planning to finance. Yes, we got a couple of different companies. Great. Here's the computer. Let me just get on this side real quick. Here's the iPad.
Yeah.
Go on there real quick. It's a 5-minute thing. And let's see what you get today.
Yeah.
You know, and then once they get hit for like 20,000, 40,000, whatever it is that they get, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I think I can do this. Like, this is like a car. And I tell patients, I need to make this like a car thing. But it's like a car, but I go get a car, you're automatically going to get financed. Who pays a car cash, you know? So you got to be that mindset. Like the same way at the dealership where the guy has you apply right then and there, this patient's got to apply right then and there. And let them go home with what they're financed with, then it's such an easier decision making, you know?
That's so good. Any other parting words of wisdom? Let me put it to you this way. Let's say I put you in a stadium, you got 30,000 doctors in there. They want to either add full arch, or they've added full arch and they're still kind of bumping their heads.
Yes.
Or they haven't figured out this whole referral thing of like, how do I start marketing? What would be your piece of advice to this audience that would help them get over the hump, just from your experience of working with so many doctors?
My recommendation is that if you plan to dive into this model, and I'm not thinking do one arch every 6 months. I'm trying to do like a couple arches a month, all right? 4, 5, 6 arches a month. You're not trying to do 20. It's a different ballgame.
Yeah.
A couple arches a month, you have to have preparation. You know, you got to set things in preparation before you start. You got to talk to your rep, Biohorizon rep, to have the parts and pieces and multi-units and cross-kit. That's got to be ready. You got to make sure your assistants, this and that are all ready. Make sure the anesthesia is ready. Make sure the financing is ready. Make sure the staff can handle and knows what to say to their patient when they go in their room. What prescriptions you're going to give the patient. What the pre-op appointment looks like.
Yeah.
This all has
Post-op,
to be ready to roll. So the patient, the minute they're not doing this every day, they're going to walk. There's so many offices right now that have the option to do full arch. And I'm not saying good or bad, but the minute the patient does not feel comfortable, they have so many other options. So you just got to be prepared, know what comes out of your mouth, make sure the staff is prepared, and makes it very seamless. We had a consult the other day, and I just didn't feel like it went very well with my staff. And the guy was like, yeah. And then he went home and decided not to do it. I called him personally. I said, listen, I actually feel like we didn't really put our best up yesterday, you know, and it didn't go well. Just come in tomorrow, let's have another talk. And he came in, I'm doing his double jaw tomorrow. So, I mean, it's one of those things like sometimes you pick up that like that didn't just go like as planned or attack. And we do so many. You just got to get back into it, you know? So
yeah, that's awesome. That's such good advice. I think the thing to remember too, and you're alluding to this, is there's competition out there now developing around this, that this is all they do. If you come in and say, I want one implant, they're going to be like, nope.
Leave.
So, and all they're doing is refining their process over and over and over again. And they're getting in way more reps, which means they're going to get better. So if you try to half-heartedly step into something like this, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten into the topic of lab technician and conversion and using freehand versus guided. You know, who's your final lab? That's a different topic.
That's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level.
It's just a preparation to get started. But you know, it's a very fulfilling type of thing to add to a practice. To do more only surgically is fulfilling. It's the patients are fulfilled. It's a very nice thing to have to your practice. And it's a standard of care now. So it has to be part of your practice. You know, I had a consult this afternoon. The lady's like, yeah, I went to a periodontist and he told me that never to take out my teeth for all of them. Who says that this day and age? You know, like the right situation and the wrong situation. You know, this is like standard care. You know, we do these things now. So
yeah. And I think too, I've heard talking to another dentist and he said, you know, it's some of the most fulfilling dentistry because all dentistry I'm sure is fulfilling. I've never been a dentist before, but when you fix someone, you get someone out of pain and they're like, oh, my tooth hurts. You get them out of pain. You do the filling, you do the root canal, whatever. There's a level of like, cool, I'm glad you feel better.
Yeah.
But when people start crying in your chair and saying, I couldn't smile, I couldn't eat, and now I can, you changed my life forever. That has to be, that has to really touch you.
A lot of immediate satisfaction for sure.
Yeah. Well, awesome, John. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm excited for the event that we're going to have, the next podcast we're going to do. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your time, and just your expertise. It's so needed in this space right now with so many different things going on.
Of course. Great. I'll see you guys in August.
Awesome.
Thank you.